Hello and welcome to the International Business Conversations. My name is Irina Goch and today I have Maria Balta, who is going to talk about organization and human resource management. Maria, hello, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Maria Balta. I'm a senior lecturer in HRM and organizational behavior at Kent Business School University of Kent. I work at the nexus of HRM and strategy, so I look at different ways of organizing through the use of technology of firms, particularly small, medium-sized enterprises. And I examine different perspectives of digitalization through a dynamic capabilities perspective and at the same time through the sense-making lens.
Let's talk about organizational management. In your opinion, what are those three key aspects of organizational management that every student should know?
One important aspect it is on sense-making, a clear understanding on the mission of the organization and where the organization would like to be in the future. So looking into the vision, proper interpretation of events related to competitions, to customers' demands, suppliers, and changes that are happening in the environment, in the industry in which a company operates, and development of critical thinking from the management point of view, the organizational actors, on how they have to respond to changes, immediate respond to changes that they will be seen as beneficial for the future of the organization. So it's more about interpretation of external environment and internal resources that the organization is possessing, and how those they can actually shape the future of the organization.
If we take the previous question and apply it on the level of the multinational enterprise, will your answer change? Yes, no, why?
The same applies to multinational organizations. Multinational organization really depends on their size. Smaller companies can be more flexible to adjust to changes. Larger organizations, they might tend to be more bureaucratic. It might take more time, but at the same time, they need really to shape their practices, to focus on value acting and value adding activities for the companies, value adding activities, and from this perspective, they need to focus on those and see what does not work and invest on those.
You said previously that your research is on the nexus between human resource management and strategy. So what are those most important international human resource areas or aspects that can impact the strategy of the multinational enterprise?
I think the most recent and issue, it is about the future of work and how digitalization has shaped the future of work. Organization, they can actually appoint people across the globe. They don't have to have a specific place to work. Obviously, there is a lot of meetings happening which they have to attend, but the virtual world really helps the way that work is organized nowadays, and it is quite applicable to the talent management perspective, because if work is more flexible, then it is easier for organizations to actually attract, at the same time retain talented staff, because they offer a flexible working environments, which is be seen as quite beneficial to balance work-life balance.
I think that my next question is going to be linked with what you've said before about technology. A couple of your most recent publications are about technology and COVID-19, or connections between the two. Can you please share something that you've learned, some phenomenon that you've uncovered that you think is interesting?
What I think is interesting, it is the transformation, the digital transformation of businesses, particularly the small, medium size enterprises, that they utilize what they have in-house in order to adjust to an environment, a very changing environment, and really has give them this extra boost in terms of productivity, in terms of visibility, and help them to rebrand the image of the organization. Through digitalization, they manage to have access to multiple suppliers, and then product services, they become more accessible to a variety of customers as well.
In your opinion, let's talk about students now. In your opinion, what will help students to better adjust to the new working environment when they start working?
I think students, they have adjusted. They have been, it is an issue of age. I mean, when I was at school, we used to have IT classes, IT lessons, but now everybody knows, so there's no need for those. They adjusted very well to technology, and they're more familiar with social media, they're more familiar with technological advancement, and at the same time, students, they know that they have been on this online learning world for a year now, and most likely some of the learning and mode of learning will be online in the forthcoming months, might not be completely 100% online. What they have actually, and they have demonstrated they're doing very well, it is how fast they adjusted, how they communicate with other students through virtual channels for group assignments, as well as for their individual work, forums that they have set up, Twitter pages, LinkedIn profiles, and Facebook has been quite fundamental for the development of students. And all of the students, they actually tend to engage, and they try like to use the knowledge from the theories that we deliver to them, and we teach them. They all the time, they actually say, oh, this is happening recently in XYZ organization. So they're very keen on having a very practical implications of the different theoretical lenses into practice.
That's a very good overview of how students adapt and can adapt to the organization. I know that you've also done some work in the area of students' placements. What are the benefits of going into placement, and would you recommend students to engage with placements and search for them?
Yes, if universities that they actually currently attend, they have the placement option, I think it's quite beneficial, because it's not just a degree, it is something, a demonstrated practical experience, and it really helps them in terms even for better degree classification, better critical thinking, practical development, and at the same time, it's quite important when they are looking for graduate jobs to have a sort of work experience, that they really acquire a good training for the role that they would like to engage with in the future.
So is it important to have really connected placement to what you've studied, or you can do the placement in slightly different area and then to what you study?
This really varies. It might be for business and management students, it is important not necessarily to get a placement that they will offer them to have a very specific training out of the placement. So specific training can be provided if they go and they get a placement in a multinational company, in a well-established organization. These are what's called a good placement opportunity. I'm not saying that SMEs or organizations that are micro firms, they don't provide so, but it tends to be more organized. And it might be something, it has to be something that the students want to do. So if the student is studying international business, I would like to do a placement in marketing. If marketing, it is something that it is appealing to them in the future, then yes, this might be the way forward to test in practice if they like this type of career.
My last question that I think now is a tradition that I ask all my guests. Can you please offer a word of advice for students?
A word of advice, it is during the university's year to be able to, apart from the actual completion of the program, to actually acquire skills that they will be beneficial for employability purposes. And I really encourage them to engage with work experience in order to have this additional differentiation point on their CVs.
Thank you very much for this amazing interview.
Thank you so much, Irina, for inviting me. It has been always a pleasure to help.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.